Hi and welcome back. My name is Stanley. If you're new here, do check out the previous video that we've shared on the channel. And of course, consider subscribing. Be ready for new and more exciting stuff. In today's video, I want to talk about, one of the things that I have realized in this decade, that is 2021 onward, and really coming from a COVID era, is that most of the businesses that shall actually survive into the next decade, that is by 2030, shall be businesses that have a digital footprint, and largely so. I mean, by way of example, last year, my chicken farm used to supply chicken to different markets in Nairobi. And on the fateful day, that is around March, when the country got into its first lockdown, we had chicken, and we were ferrying the chicken to Nairobi, only to realize that all the people who had placed orders with us were no longer confirming, and we've already slaughtered the chicken, so we are the market already. We have fresh chicken. We hadn't thought about frozen, considering cold storage before, and there we were stuck with our chicken, and we had to look at a couple of measures towards securing that. I'll be able to share a bit more about that chicken story in a later video. But then it's what happened after the struggles that we went through that actually came to resonate with me, and hence this topic. Now, we realize that chicken, being a commodity that has been sold in butcheries, that has been sold in the city market, the Isili market, the Goretti, or you found it in the shelves on the supermarket in a cold display unit, didn't necessarily need to be sold in those spaces. It could literally come to your house. And one of the things that we faced as a challenge, and maybe a solution in disguise, was that when COVID hit and hotels were closed, we had slaughtered so many chicken, and we didn't have a place to store. Once we secured the issue of storage, we needed to secure how to sell this particular chicken across board. And so the first instance, or around April, we set up an Instagram page. I mean, it was nothing fancy. It's literally one of those things that you wake up and do. We called it Big Kuku. You can always check it out and order some piece of chicken from there. And then, we started advertising for chicken on Instagram. Now, luckily, we had a bit of money to spend on ads. And around 5,000 shillings in, we started getting our first couple of orders. And, to our surprise, the kind of orders that came were mainly, give me 5 kilos of this particular part, as opposed to give me 5 pieces of chicken. And we realized we had actually never thought that we could ever cut our chicken into pieces and sell it as pieces. And at that point, our customers were there asking, hey, can I get wings and wings peke? Can I get drumsticks? Can I get thighs? Can I get boneless breasts? And it was rather funny because we always just slaughter the chicken the kienyeji way. You put it in hot water, you defeather the chicken, and you supply it to the markets. Now, we didn't need to get into so many processes, because within 2 hours of slaughtering, we had our chicken delivered to the people who are mainly, buying this chicken for onward sales. Now, most of our customers actually are the Soundfords in town. These are the guys who need their chicken delivered as early as 3 a.m. for them to be able to process it up until 5, and then kitchen work starts by 6. That's why you always find chicken at Soundford after, or before, when you go to a club and then you go through town and the like. I digress. So the thing is, these customers that we were so used to never needed our chicken in pieces, because they would buy in pieces and cut the chicken into the respective parts. So then now we have a new caliber of customers who are ordering 5 kilos, 10 kilos of a certain type of meat. So what happens to the rest of the meat? Again, yes, we have looked into storage, but remember, we haven't had time to invest in our own storage. So we are operating on leased space. It's a space that you can't quite open, every other single day. And so you have to always constantly think, how am I going to move as much chicken as possible? But then the orders have dried up. So the first order of business was, walked into Carrefour, got 2 cooler boxes, I think 10 liter each, and we stuck chicken in there. We put it in our small vehicles, my partner and I, and we ferried the chicken across town. And to our surprise, most of the customers actually loved that we did that. We did the door-to-door delivery. And over and above doing the door-to-door delivery, in as much as the chicken cut-up pieces were not the perfect, we presented a clean product and a product that the family eventually went on to love and love. Now, we've gotten quite a lot of feedback around this. And it got us to a point where we were like, okay, now, we are now getting towards the crazy order levels. I mean, we previously supplied to hotels. And so these guys already had, started, trusting our chicken. They knew about our story. I mean, do not expect perfection because we are mainly fast farmers before we get into this processing bit. And so I've realized that we might actually be like how the US was when the dot-com surge was coming up. And this is true in East Africa. Right now, look at YouTube, for instance. Look at Instagram. Look at the kind of content everyone is putting out there. It's new level. It's next level. I mean, guys are actually waking up. And as guys are waking up, then more and more information is available for you to do stuff with. Explore those social platforms. And in case you actually have questions around this, I do run a marketing company that can help you set up your online businesses, your branding, your logos, and the like. Look, it's not complicated, and it doesn't need to be. You just have to start.